his ad about Romney's tenure at Bain Capital, and then we're going to have a little chat about it.
I was a steel worker for 30 years. We had a reputation for quality products. It was something that was American-made, and we weren't rich, but I was able to put my daughter through college.
Having a good paying job that you can support and raise a family on is hugely important.
That stopped with the sale of the plant to Bain Capital.
I know how business works. I know why jobs come and why they go.
Bain Capital was the majority owner. They were responsible. Mitt Romney was deeply involved in the influence.
So, Karen, there we see man in hard hats, a familiar image from these kinds of commercials, and Mitt Romney in a tie, something he's tried to stay away from this campaign. What do you make of that ad?
Well, I think it's a reminder that, you know, what private equity guys do, which is how Mitt Romney succeeded and got rich, is not creating jobs. What they are doing is delivering value for their investors. And I think it was a narrative that, you know, has been used against Romney before in his career, and, you know, Obama came out swinging hard this week.
Jackie, what did you make of the ad? Yeah, swinging hard, as Karen said.
You know, I thought it was interesting, though, that they didn't go after private equity, per se. And there was some little bit of rollback saying, oh, no, it's not private equity we're going after. It's Mitt Romney trying to say that this is a job creator. And I thought that kind of back away was interesting this week to see from the Obama people, because they don't want to upset the people who are maybe donating money.
Well, indeed, he had a fundraiser that night from private equity people, so there was a little trouble there.
But I mean, I agree with Karen. This is an effort to define Romney before he has a chance to roll out his ad and define himself and introduce himself to the people who are just starting to pay attention, which is probably most of America that is not Washington, D.C.
John, early attacks at Romney, some people, Republicans say this looks awfully desperate for the president. This is now, you know, there was a previous ad the president ran that ended by saying, you know, what would you expect from somebody with a Swiss bank account? What do you make of that?
Well, you know, as Jackie said, this is an effort to define Romney. I've been really, you know, like, engrossed in how it's played out this week. And doesn't it, by the way, feel like a million years ago that it was Monday and they were rolling out this ad? That's the way modern media works. We go through all these news cycles. But, you know, yeah, I think that on a superficial level, they want voters to think of Romney as heartless and somebody who doesn't care about the little guy. But it's been interesting to watch the debate play out this week because there's a lot of nuance to it. On the one hand, his record at Bain, or Bain's record, was pretty successful. On the second hand, his job at president would be different than his job was at Bain. His job description was create wealth. His job as president would be create conditions for jobs. So I think to say because his job at Bain was to create wealth and and that did lead to some creative destruction, as conservatives call it, you know, that doesn't mean that his job as president would be the same, or his MO would be the same. In my mind, I think it's just two different jobs. And their whole argument is about values.